What's the best way you've seen someone take down a bully? David was the president of our homeowners association, and he ruled our quiet suburban street like a petty tyrant. He was a man who found joy in the misery of others, and for some reason, he chose me as his special project. It started small. A notice for having my garbage can out 10 minutes past the designated time, a fine for a single weed in a flower bed, but it escalated quickly. He would patrol my property with a ruler, measuring the height of my grass. He once fined me $200 because a gust of wind had blown a few lawn clippings onto the sidewalk. He made my life a living nightmare, a constant source of stress over trivial, made-up infractions. Complaining was useless. He controlled the HOA board, stacking it with his friends who rubber-stamped his every decision. He was untouchable. His favorite line, which he delivered with a smug grin at every meeting, was "The bylaws are the bylaws. We must enforce them without exception." I knew I couldn't beat him at his own game by arguing. I had to find something he was doing wrong, something that violated his own sacred bylaws. David's own house was a fortress of compliance. His lawn was perfect, his hedges were immaculate, but I noticed something odd. There was a constant stream of different cars, mostly older models, going into his garage and leaving a day or two later. He always kept the garage door shut tight. He told a neighbor he had a car restoration hobby. It felt off. One evening, I was walking my dog late at night and saw him accepting a handful of cash from a man who had just picked up a beat-up sedan. The exchange was quick and quiet, like a drug deal. That's when it clicked. He wasn't a hobbyist. He was running an illegal auto repair business out of his garage. It was a massive violation of the HOA's rules, which strictly prohibited any commercial activity from a residential property. This was my chance, but an accusation was not enough. I needed irrefutable proof. I bought a high-definition camera disguised as a garden gnome and placed it in my flower bed, aiming it directly at his driveway. For 3 solid weeks, my little gnome camera recorded everything. It captured every car that came and went. It captured the cash changing hands. It even captured him dumping used motor oil down a storm drain in the middle of the night, a serious environmental violation. I meticulously documented everything. I created a spreadsheet cross-referencing the video timestamps with the make and model of each car. I even ran the license plates of a few, confirming they weren't registered to anyone in the neighborhood. I compiled it all into a single, devastating presentation. The annual HOA meeting was David's favorite event. It was his chance to stand in front of the community and lecture us all on our failings. He was halfway through a PowerPoint about the moral decay represented by unkempt lawn edging when I raised my hand. "David, I have a question about Article 7, Section B of the bylaws," I said calmly. "The section regarding the prohibition of commercial enterprises." He looked annoyed. "It's very clear. What's your question?" "My question is, does that apply to everyone?" I asked. The entire presentation I had prepared was projected onto the screen behind him. Video footage of the cars, the cash transactions, him dumping the oil. I narrated the whole thing, my voice steady and clear. "As you can see, for the past several months, our president has been operating an unlicensed, cash-only auto repair business from his garage." The room was silent at first, then it erupted. People were shouting. The board members he'd appointed looked horrified. David's face turned a shade of purple I had never seen before. He started yelling that the footage was fake, that I was slandering him. But the evidence was undeniable. I then brought up the fines. "According to the bylaws, the penalty for this violation is $1,000 per day, plus the immediate removal from the board." I turned to the rest of the homeowners. "I propose we use the bylaws to force him to repay every fraudulent fine he has ever levied against anyone in this neighborhood." The vote was unanimous. David was removed as president on the spot, and the new board immediately began legal proceedings to claw back years of his petty fines. He had to sell his house to pay for it all.